Good evening, fans of Rando, and welcome to another presentation of the Link to the Past Randomizer League. This is a race out of the Open League tonight in Week 3, which is AAD Keys. I am Talon116, and joining me in the comm booth is Pixcalibur. How's it going?
Doing pretty good. This is a new week. Getting off of casual boots is gonna be quite the switch. Now it's you don't start with boots or a sword or anything. It's now and also you have to gotta do everything.
Yeah, so this is a new mode for this season, put together by the devs. So I want to give a little taste of all Dungeon Key Sanities, but it's more like the diet version. Unless it's required for Dark World or Lumberjack, we do not need to beat Aga 1, but that does not mean there cannot be things hidden in Castle Tower. Want to give a quick shout out to our tracker Lumaga and our restreamer Yoker's Wife. Thank you guys so much for helping out putting this on. And we're just getting ready to go.
Yeah, so I guess this mode is, I guess you could think of it as just like an open 7/7 with a required pedestal. All right, getting underway. Kind of a different starts here, but pretty much they're going to be having to do about everything. Hoping to dodge Aga 1, because the last thing you want is a full all dungeon key sanity.
Yeah, I was a commentator on a previous race said that this is Twitch chat's favorite week because we're pulling the ped whether you like it or not. All right, so we have divergent routing here. We have Vertz going to head up from the classic Sanctuary start, where Shinmaru is going to check on Uncle and see where they want to go from there. Probably hoping for a weapon of some type. 3 bombs are nice. We're going to want those, but not enough to consider doing the front of escape. Lumberjack just holding up $50, no big deal. And the Uncle route not really paying dividends.
Yeah, so that's a nice lumberjack check because Aga 1, at least not needed for that. The only thing, unless yes, you need it for Dark World access.
Shinmaru going to go ahead and head east toward the Eastern Palace and Saha area. I am a fan of this route, especially in a key sanity type mode. Definitely want to check this area. We get our first small key to Turtle Rock sitting in the Monster Room spot.
And that island with another small key. And, ooh, hey, an early blue mail. Definitely not turning that down since you got to go through all these dungeons. Never hurt to have a bit of extra health on your hand.
Yeah, we'll take a mail earlier. That's fine. I don't know too many people that would pass that up. All right, let's see what Saha grants us. Gonna check the green pendant. Dark Palace. Insert pendant pod reference here.
Granted, you have to do it anyway, so it's just kind of more whatever. Like, it's not like let's say a typical, like, say, casual boots, you don't want to see pendant pod. Be having to dip that. And then here, you got to do it anyway.
Saha holding on to the small key to Skullwoods. I definitely like having one of those early before going in. Makes routing a little bit cleaner. As Vertz tries to farm a few bombs off of the bushes here, and then going to head into the typical Kakariko route.
Yeah, so I think one Skullwood small, that pretty much lets you do, like, the front, right? Like, pretty much all the...
Yeah, so if you go in without a small key, you can always steal one from the middle, but then you're looking for a small key to be able to beat the dungeon later. Having one going in just eliminates that risk. You can just clear it, the front and the middle, and be okay.
Yeah, because I guess the key at the back is just going to be for the back of Skullwoods, going for Moth.
So Vert's going to take a little bit of a run around the race game to grab this extra $50. Probably just going to buy some bombs now that they have the extra cash. Shinmaru hates Eastern Palace map chest, or I missed it, one of the two.
Yeah, I didn't even see. Did he even go right to the map chest?
I didn't see it if they did. I also missed what was on the library. Ha! Ha! Nice. The map of Eastern. Okay.
Can't escape that map. Well, no, it's a crystal. It just not doesn't know what type it is. It's a
Shin
regular
look,
red.
Shin having a little bit of little bit of confusion walking back and forth. I wonder if they realize they missed that chest and are just debating whether it's worth walking back to. Decided, nope, I've wasted enough time. I'm gonna bounce. All right, big key to Turtle Rock. We'll take that, sure.
Yeah, it's always good to get some of those the core required big keys out of the way. Ones like swamp, skullwoods, ice, maybe a little less valuable.
Yeah, some of those optional big keys, you definitely don't mind finding those early just so you have them. But once you get toward the end of the game, there are ones you don't mind skipping if you have to. All right. Kakariko a little lame so far. Let's see if we can move that along. Another key to Turtle Rock. Starting to think maybe Turtle Rock has something. Okay, we'll take a bottle, sure.
Assuming that's a gold bee in that bottle, or is it just a regular bee?
All right, blind shot, $20, some sticks, small key to. I thought it was gonna be Turtle Rock. I'm not gonna lie. Desert Palace. Ah, the fillet.
Oh, that desert small isn't bad once they can access it. They can at least get all the front of desert out of the way. Don't have to risk having to steal the key from the back, and then you have to go find that desert key, desert small later on.
Yeah, definitely an optional key that doesn't block completing the dungeon most of the time, but you're definitely another one that you're very happy to find en route. Vert's giving a wave to Shinmaru as they leave the blind hut. Vert's getting you some good game knowledge. Dropping down for the last $10, going to be able to check this bottle vendor and then turn their bottle in, I would guess, and then we'll see where they want to go. Pretty light beginning, though. Not much going on. Glad we had time to check that.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen much of any offense at all. I mean, that bottle is a bee that maybe that's used could be used for mini Moldorm Cave actually.
Yeah, I'm
Not
wondering if
that.
that's why they didn't try to turn it in. Is that's their best access to knock out Mini Moldorm Cave? I would probably would have held on to it as well. All right, as we see Shinmer going over some stuff that was already done in Kakariko and Vert's kind of moving around. Let's highlight these teams a little bit. So both of these teams are out of the GT division in the Open League. So the Joy of Rando is currently a 2-2, while the Grouchy Old Men are 1-3. So looking to knot up the points total here with a win. We did see Shinmaru drop off that B for some money, so yeah, check the back tavern probably for bombs, and then we'll see if they want to just grab some.
Well, it's a nice bow sitting in the open, so give you something to work with.
Yeah, we'll take an early bow, sure.
Well, now that Vertz has the bow, probably could just save that B. Maybe could dump it off for money later on. Got enough ammo and other weapons to work with. And this last mini Moldor being a little bit trolly here. There we go.
Yeah, I'm
see
not
if,
exactly a crack shot with a. I'm not a crack shot when it comes to the bow, so I definitely would let that bee go. There's a glove. Okay.
yeah, I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna get early, like you said, or early TR access. That's 3 smalls and a big key already. So technically, it looks like you just have to skip lava chest. You can clear out TR, after you get all the obviously all the needed items.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good question. What's hiding in TR? Because it really feels like the game's pushing that way. Shin showing us what happens if you try to lift a rock without a glove. Thank you. We do it for science.
That's a nice stun prize there. Get some free bomb refills.
Okay, there we go. We're starting to make some headway now.
Trying to see what does this really give us though. Still have Agina. Front of escape.
Agina never has anything.
Looks like let's see if Shinmaru will be testing that out to see. Front of escape, I think the bow is more than adequate to get through that. Vert's doing his fake flipper into hobo. Let's see if out of logic check here has anything.
Oh. Oh, Agina, why?
Oh boy, and there's a hobo with a shovel. Let's see how that's gonna play out. And this time, Gina is not useless. Well, to be fair, it is another step on pushing us towards TR. We would have Mitts, you got Moon Pearl, just need access to East Death Mountain, a sword, medallion, and some other stuff to.
Yeah, if either runner finds the hammer in pretty short order, the glove for either of them could be isolated for quite a long time. Nice Hyrule Castle key. Vert's back swimming into the waterfall. That was kind of cool.
Good place for that. That's just a glove locked. So that puts that should put all of the escape into logic now. Well, outside of Dark Cross, but the front is in logic.
Yeah, like Hyrule Castle key just hiding in the back, so outside of a fire source, Hyrule Castle pretty well in logic now. Yeah, just to 67 rupees. Not going to do Zora, but we see nothing on the ledge, so that spot's going to be a lot isolated for a bit. All right, we see Shinmaru doing the normal thing, heading to Mini Moldorn Cave. We'll probably grab Ice Rod Cave, which will be good for them.
And Vert's going to, not surprisingly, going to turn in that shovel, see if that, out of logic play, see if it pans out to something. Looking for something like maybe a sword, get some kind of offense.
Yeah, and responding to the Smirk in chat, you're right. I had the location of the Pearl and other glove flip-flop, so you're correct. Our first pot key hiding in the dig spot. We'll take that.
And this might be a Houlihan play. Let's see if no, you just go. Yeah, we could do the escape first. Not close to Zora, so even the extra money there probably wouldn't. It wouldn't do too much unless they find like a 300 somewhere.
I wonder if we'll see Vertz go ahead and head into the front of escape now. Having that and we're gonna try to route Dark Cross from the back. Yeah, and there's the Pearl for Shinmaru, and with that Mitt, that gives them Dark World access.
So, well, probably we'll run. Yeah, no, can't do King's Tomb yet. So probably just run this in the Village of Outcasts at this point.
Yeah, and I like this. With your Mitts starting to the Dark World, you can do one large loop all the way around. Skullwood, check the bumper ledge, come into CAC, front four of Thieves, get the Smith if you really feel nice, I guess. Do the south route all the way up to Catfish if you really want to, and just get a one large loop and then see where you're at. Good luck to you, homemade beer. Yeah, I responded to chat too. I mean, we could see a Kern jump to go over to that side as well. Might not be a bad play, not having a hammer or flippers to just go over there, get the Catfish Pyramid, and then with a bow can do a little bit of pod. Doesn't have any keys yet, so pod may not be calling quite as loudly.
Yeah, I think we've only seen one key so far.
Yeah, there was
No,
just one on that
Vertz.
big spot.
So yeah, this can't really do much. You probably want at least one key just to be able to do anything in there.
We're about to learn something pretty important from Vertz's side, and that is what is the end logic check that Shinmaru skipped out on. So far, Skullwood's not really giving us much to write home about. Okay, nothing. See, it's fine. A map in the map chest.
It's just a different map since we know
He knew.
vanilla. it was a map in there, yeah. But it would have been funny if it was the actual vanilla map. It just moved a little bit in this case.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have been. There we go. Now we're talking.
Ooh, okay. That's always good to find that early.
Man, I would have been super burned in this scene because I like going to Eastern early, and there is nothing here.
Yeah, so that early Dark World play paying off big for Shinmaru. Vert still has to get to a Gina, and will probably be funneled there because I don't think there's much else to do.
Yeah, but we may see them going to the front of Escape for density checks before going all the way to Agina for almost nothing. Or potentially nothing in their mind until they're all locked into it. Oh, Quake's sitting there on the bumper ledge.
Yeah, not the friendliest thing when now you know you probably have to find that cape somewhere. Kind of just want it as a safety, if it at most. And Vertz is going to go as far as possible in Eastern and, well, a vanilla compass. But pretty much you got the vanilla dungeon items in Eastern.
Yeah, French Vanilla, like Big Key, would have been nice, I guess, for that dungeon since everything else was just sitting there. But yeah, here's Vertz heading to the Hyrule Castle. We know the escape checks are on logic, and then the Dark Cross is just blocked by fire at this point. But still, stuff we haven't seen yet. Could be the potential for something big. If Vertz pulls something like the mirror or something out of here, it could be a while before Shin finds their way over here.
Okay, there's a nice 300 in thieves, so that'll work towards that Zora check. Granted, it's pretty isolated now.
Okay. So the front of the sign at least gives us a book, I guess. Somewhere Tyler Salt is just ruined.
So that doesn't give too much. Well, it does give desert, so you can pretty much do the whole front of desert. And he's got boots, so even if the torch had something, you can, doesn't have to double back for that.
I want to give a shout out to SpeedGame4 and their raid. Thank you so much. Welcome in. So you're just getting into AAD Week 3 race in the Open League. We have Shinmaru representing the Joy of Rando and Vertz representing Grouchy Old Men. You see the Bombos pull it out of the brewery.
So front of escape, the first chest was another pod small, so oh well, early red tunic, I mean, not gonna complain about it, but it's kind of maybe want some different offense or sword or something. Or better use some utility item.
Responding to a question in chat, what is AAD? So this is a mode that was made up by the devs for this league, and what it is almost all dungeons key sanity. So it's a normal 7/7 open defeat Ganon, but the GT Big Key is permanently put on the pedestal, so you have to beat the 3 pendant dungeons to be able to pull your GT Big Key. So this is an effort to have an all dungeons key sanity seed without the grossness of AGA 1. Yeah, Escape not giving us much.
Okay, yeah, there that red tunic not helping there. It actually still takes 2 bombs to do a half heart now. Yeah, red mail is really bad for death warping. Yeah, because I think this mode, yeah, you might still have. In this case, you probably won't have to do AGA 1. If they can find a hammer, that's should be complete for that. But you really don't want to be. I think before like the full all dungeon, you have to find like 2 castle tower small keys, which is basically the equivalent of like 2 more ice rods, because those can be basically anywhere.
Yeah, having the mids and Darkhold access, I mean, Castle Tower may still have items we need, but as far as defeating AGA 1, that's completely out the door now. Okay,
Well,
that's pretty hype. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hype.
It's hype in not in terms of like item utility, but lots of keys. Actually, some good keys. I think you got a Meyer big, Skullwood's big. Okay, you can do one of those fetch quest bigs, and I think it was another pod small in was it the swamp small?
Yeah, and the Swamp Small, 2 hard required keys and a potential required big key as well. And then another pod small, which brings Vertz up to 3, I believe.
That is a nice hook shot there. Shinmaru. So yeah, the early Dark World is really paying off. I think Vert's probably going to should be going over to Agina. Probably running out of logical checks.
Yeah, not having any money, definitely not going to Zora now. So running over here to do the walk of shame over to Agina.
You're forced to do it. No choice in this one. Got the Agina walk. You have like the Spiral Cave. Those are not places you want to be doing without boots.
Yeah, Bert's definitely been very thorough at clearing out this early sphere 1 and 0. That if Shinmaru goes back and does those items, he'll give some of that time back. But when Shin does it, he'll have the boots. So definitely some time given up by Vertz here.
So I mean, at least as long as Vertz does Skull Woods dip, then at least you get those boots, and you know you don't want to be doing like say these and then forget to do Skull Woods and not have those boots for a long time because it's gonna make a deficit balloon up more.
So having that hook shot, we may be seeing Shin head up the mountain here with Pearl, Mitts, and Hook. Can go out of logic in the dark, but can definitely do quite a bit on the mountain and get some good information at the same time.
Probably can clear almost all of the mountain. Let's see, I can get to Paradox, can get to Dark Death Mountain, Hookshot Cave. Just can't do Spike Cave. Maybe could scout Ether Tablet, but that's just an ugly check, but may consider doing that.
Yeah, I definitely would go ahead and just pick that. Well, I mean, they're going to need like a hammer or a mirror first, but...
Oh, yeah, you can't get over there without that.
But yeah, I'm definitely on board with Shinmaru's play here. It's out of logic without a fire source or without the flute. Or, I'm sorry, a lamp. Or without the flute, but definitely can just go through here and get a multitude of checks, and more importantly, just get the TR medallion info. They are the boots for Vertz. I'm sure very happy to see those.
And in this case, yeah, Vert's going to Skull Woods before Big Key. Well, the Big Key was in a spot that it wasn't worth walking all the way to get. You might as well just do Skull Woods, get the boots, and then just run back there. You got to clear the place later anyway, so they'll just swing back once they can take out Moth.
Yeah, unless the Fire Rod is just sitting vanilla, which would be awful for both runners. They're going to have to come back this way.
Gotta find a mirror somewhere.
So yeah, it's an interesting lamp sitting on top of Spec Rock, meaning the flute is accessible somewhere before anything on this mountain. So that's good info to know.
Trying to think that there may not even be that many spots it could be. Logically, you've probably got... you don't have logical East Dark World access yet. Desert. The book does open that up.
Yeah, you're right. There's just not a ton that's in front of us and accessible in logic concurrently. So yeah, I feel like Desert's a pretty good play, or a pretty good guess at least. Yeah, Flute and Skullwood's big. That's definitely a possibility.
Yeah,
Zora, yeah, Chad's like on it.
Yeah. You really have to nail these little corner checks. Oh, hey, there's a sword. So this out of logic mountain climb really paying off here. Let's see, Pod Small, Meyer Small. Half cost magic will definitely take that.
Paradox pan out pretty well.
Makes the boots a lot smoother to use now that you got the sword in front of you. Ooh, that's a nice big key up there.
Running some pretty interesting items in some obscure places between the Quake and the lamp, and now a Binky sitting on a floating island.
Yeah, so we're kind of wonder where that mirror could be lying.
So we see Vertz pushing their way through. Themes Town, going to pick up some money and a couple other items for, I'm guessing, heading more around the Dark World checks, much like Shinmaru. While Shin is going to show us Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, so eventually Vertz will get to that, should get to King's Tomb for that hookshot, and we'll probably just follow the same path Shinmaru's going. It's definitely going to be paying off big time here. So, Master Sword, and I believe that was the Sank Heart in Super Bunny.
Yeah, both of our runners got pretty healthy pretty quick, and now with some Master Sword and mail upgrades, it's sitting in a pretty good place. Okay, 3 swords on the mountain. Wow.
Oh, Shinmaru's going to be feeling really happy about that one. Oh my goodness. So who knows where that flute could be? I mean, it's the game. The seed may not give you that flute for a while, and because in terms of progression, I mean, I don't know if it gave anything in terms of pure progression, but 3 swords definitely yeah, Shinmaru just rushing front of escape. There's no issue now.
Yeah, it should be noted that between our runners we have 5 pod smalls, which is enough to get through pretty much everything you need on the front. So if we see a Binky show up, we could see a runner potentially rush that even with just a current jump.
Yeah, pretty sure they would hammer Yump just to save a key. That way they don't have to find all 6 to take out Helmasaur, the big Helma. I mean, early tempered is always a nice thing to have. It's just makes a lot of stuff just so streamlined.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Chad. It feels like Shin's doing this front of castle play just to kind of cover bases. Like, okay, this is something I left behind. And with boots and a tempered sword, it's about as fast as it could get. So I'm not against this play. We'll see if they want to go and check the first check of Castle Tower. I guess I would since I was here.
Good thing this green guard does constant damage. Because otherwise this would be a nightmare if you had to use like bombs. In fact, probably wouldn't even have enough bombs.
Yeah, funny thing about that green guard, it always is programmed to do half a heart of health, no matter what your mail is. Interesting.
Right, Vert's picking up their hook shot. So let's see if he will just take that to the mountain at this point. Oh no, actually, okay, he's gonna be turned into Smith first. Get that out of the way.
So yeah, we're having a little trouble with Shin's stream. I know he is still alive and still running, so it's there. We'll get him back in a moment. He's currently getting his hot nothing out of the back of escape right now.
Okay, there we go. I think we should have him back on. I don't think really missed anything. I think he was probably just doing yeah, he said back of escape.
Yeah,
if
did the back of
anything.
escape. Spent quite a long time trying to find something to kill him, so he could death warp to this front check.
I almost wonder if it was just faster to just run back to the front, like
Yeah, maybe.
manually, instead
Especially
of
in the
just death
dark.
warping.
All right, first check cast tower, garbage. All right, Shin, where are you going now?
Okay, looking like a desert play here, and so let's see if there was progression in here, because in terms of logic, I'm trying to see just how much there really is left. I mean, Vertz is gonna start picking up their swords.
It feels like at worst, Flute has to either be here or on Zora, potentially Skullwood's big chest as well, to put that mountain play into logic, since we know the lamp's just sitting up there.
Now, it could be other fetch quests. It could be the mirror. May not just give the flute directly here. Oh boy, well, there's flippers, so I don't think that adds much, because I think we've done all the water checks. And the hobo had just a shovel that led to just a small key. I mean, well, those flippers do give
It gives
East
Ice
Dark, well,
Palace.
yeah, Ice Palace, yeah,
Yeah,
Ice
I mean,
Palace.
you're correct. It also gives access to Desert, logically. Or Desert Pod, sorry.
Yeah, East.
Okay,
Oh,
and that's Pod 6.
Oh, so just need a big key now and a hammer to full clear. Oh,
Nice
okay,
sword.
well, might as well take that.
Oh, yeah.
Sword percent already.
Yeah, so between our runners, we have all 6 Pod Smalls. That would be enough to get me to go to Pod.
And the flippers actually puts pod in actual logic. You can access it from the top. Like first GT small, because can't rule out the possibility of a hammer just sitting in pod.
Yeah, it feels like there's something pretty important there at this point.
And it's probably a good thing that both runners just climbed the mountain without the actual logic mountain, because again, who knows when the flute will show up? It doesn't have to show up anytime soon, because they could just give something like mirror, something to give you like swamp access. You just really stretch out that flute as long as possible.
Yeah, we have 3 of the Pod Smalls are in logic concurrently, so that could mean, you know, Flute can be sitting in Pod, Mirror can be sitting in Pod, but yeah, Pod definitely holding the key right now. Let's see, Red Crystal at Thieves Town.
You know, like Swamp and TR were just regular crystals. Swamp Big is another. Okay. Well, the Thieves Town's small. That's good for later. So once you can find a hammer and the big key, you can full clear thieves.
All right, Bert's getting through all their mountain nonsense. Let's see where they want to go now. As we see Shin jumping over the river, heading to the east.
And Vert's looking like this may be a safe scum here to scout out this mushroom and see, you know, maybe if it's junk, you can just save it for a fake powder later on. Okay, so catfish, nothing. Yeah, mushroom, also nothing. Just a compass. So yeah, that's definitely safe scummed. All right, so Shinmaru, okay, started at catfish, just gonna be running along these kind of isolated checks. So we got, let's see, pyramid ledge, anything on here? We got, nope, we're at 20. And he'll probably making his way to pod. And I'm trying to see how many small keys Shin has at this time.
Yeah, so Shin has 5 of the pod small keys. They do not have the one from the dig spot.
Okay, which is probably not a big deal. We'll likely just hammer Yelp and save that small key.
Yeah, I believe both our runners are more than of the skill level that 5 keys is more than enough to get them through everything they need to. Bert's gonna grab their flippers. Sure have similar ideas to Shinmaru and Pod. So yeah, we're just kind of seeing our runners push through these dungeon checks, following the key logic and the item logic pretty well, with the exception of jumping up to the mountain with just the glove and no light source, but meh, that's nothing.
Yeah.
So I know we've heard from chat several times that they feel like a mirror is just going to be hiding here in Pod, but what do you think, Pix? What do you think we're going to find it?
Well, chat wins. Whoopsies. Never got a chance on that one.
Smirk, I'll see you in my office after the race, please.
I didn't get a chance. It's like I'm about to say, maybe take a guess, and well, never mind. The mirror's just sitting right there. Here, have a free mirror. Oh, well, so that's really gonna delay that, because I was kind of a little concerned of that mirror coming there. And like, well, that's gonna delay that flute, because that opens up some mirror checks. That opens up swamp, and
Yeah, Swamp
they
House,
can actually
baby.
clear it. They can. I think they can. Yeah, they can clear. They just don't have the big key, but they can clear it with Specky Clip.
So Bert's going to give us the Zora check. This is something we've not seen from Shinmaru. Been in logic from quite early in the scene, so we'll see where if Zora's holding on to anything good. And of course not.
Total scam. Not surprised. Yes, definitely gonna have to want to save that money.
Yeah, great shout by Smirking Chat again, too. There's that big key sitting on floating island on the mountain. That's be quite a trek just for one big key, but could be super important. Hey, nice fire rod.
All right, that might take at some point a trip back to Skull Woods. Oh, there's the flute. Oh boy, Pod is kind of loaded today. Okay, so that's interesting.
There was a pretty strong shout from commentator in Chat Light that was saying current jumping to Pod might be the play, and yeah, here we go.
I mean, that would have been, yeah, if you just did that right away, that would have, you had to, you need enough small keys first, but now they have plenty. But it's even in logic at this point. Since it's book to Desert for Flippers.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if either of our runners would have just come over here with just 3 keys. They'd been leaving something behind unless they decided to skip the Harmless Hellway. But if you skip the Vanilla Binky chest, you are hurting. Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, Pod is a pendant. No, go figure. If this had been like Kaz boots or like regular open, this could have been really bad for someone who doesn't like to go in the pendant pod. Oh, that is an absolute loaded pod if I've ever seen one. So that is so what was in there? A hammer, a mirror, fire rod, and flute. That's like, that opens up like everything at this point.
Somewhere AFG just had like a stroke. Yeah, Shinmaru immediately going to go activate that flute. Don't really blame them, but the call of Swamp would be pretty high here.
Yeah, I think a lot of dungeons start becoming, well, outside of missing big keys. Eastern just needs a big key. Desert needs a big key, I believe. Hera is clearable with a Hera pot.
Yeah, there's some big keys out there that could really cause problems. Ice Palace and Swamp Palace both not having their big keys. You're leaving something behind if you dip them now.
Yeah, it's looking like we got a swamp play.
And I don't remember, so help me recall. Did either runner check the medallion required for TR or no?
No, I don't think that was checked. I don't think Shin checked. I think he noped out after. Oh no, he went the dark road. I think he noped out of the hook shot. He didn't go over to TR.
Alright, so Vert's having all 6 small keys, and now the Flipper is going to go into Pod and get their ridiculous amount of items.
Yeah, it was looking like the seed was gonna funnel you into Pod. Like, you would have done the rest of your checks, and I think they were kind of running low on checks, and eventually you would just had to take the go into Pod.
Shinmaru going to grab these quick mirror checks of K45 and Bombo's tablet. I like grabbing these before going into any dungeon.
And Shin can run the Smith chain kind of whenever.
Yes, and Shin's already done the front of the Smith chain by returning the Smith, so they only have the purple chest left. I wouldn't think running back to do that now would make any sense when you can just grab it after Thieves' Town or Skullwoods.
Yeah, it's just better to route that in. I mean, they could do Skullwoods, I think, is clearable. Yeah. Don't think you need anything else for that.
But yeah, if I'm Shinmaru in this scenario, dungeons are the only thing on my mind. It's this, Ice Palace, Skullwoods. I'm probably checking the mire area for Medallion and grabbing the couple checks over there. But I definitely would be thinking try to run some dungeons. I do like Smirk and Chat's idea of doing Hera first, just for the TR Medallion, obviously, since we don't seem to have it. But also we know there's that big key on Floating Island as well, and then you can just grab Hera at your leisure. It's another mountain climb, but...
So they might stop by the Lake Hylia. I think that had a small key. Might as well just pick that up if they, before doing an ice.
Yeah, maybe, but small key-wise, I don't know that we're hard required for any more small keys. I mean, a small key for Ice Palace would be nice. You might need the 4th TR key. But unless it's something like, like the CT key blocking the second chest and then having something, small key-wise, we've got all the ones we have to have.
Yeah, now I'm looking at it, because TR already got enough. We have enough small keys.
Yeah, we got 3 small keys to TR very early.
And I don't think Meyer needs any small keys. You just need the big key and just rush.
Yeah, and they already have 1, which makes the routing just that much easier, so... There you go. Shinmaru is setting up the bomb diver down, gets it, and is able to grab this key and hit the switch. Now go to left side swamp. Vert's going to come in here and grab their hammer. Then we'll see where they want to go. So the Dark World is pretty open for our runners right now, not that they have this kind of equipment. We'll see what each one wants to do.
So it's looking like logically in Pod, you're supposed to at least double dip, maybe even triple dip Pod. Well, the small key on the Skullwoods, don't really care about that. And let's see the other piece of heart. But yeah, Pod, it looked like possibly even a triple dip, because you would have to get the mirror from there first. And then you get fire rod, so that would get you the basement to get flute, and then you get your lamp and come back to get the hammer, and then wherever that big key is, if that's like hammer locked, that would be a triple dip of Pod.
Yeah, so logically you get your fire rod, that gets you into the back for your flute for the mountain, to get the rest of the keys to go in and get the mirror, because the mirror is 4 key locked. And the other 3 pod keys are on the mountain. Oh, no. Never mind. I'm sorry. That's wrong. Because the book gets you into desert, and that gets you the shovel for... No, so yeah, you could go in with 4. Logically. So yeah, depending where the big key is, it could be a triple dip. What we're saying is thanks. I hate it. Nice bomb diver down in the back by Shinmaru there. Gonna try to grab as much out of here as possible. Okay, big key. Thieves Town, okay, that's good. We want that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a full clear of Thieves Town, so they also don't have to worry about orphaning that big key chest. Well, no, not the big chest itself. They have the small key to get to it.
Yeah, and having not done Skullwoods yet, we'll be able to just go back into that part of the world probably one more time for Skullwoods, Thieves Town, Purple Chest, and never go back again. So that's great routing on Shin's part. Really working out for him. Oh, is it 6 for the big key chest? I always think it's 4 and 6 for the dark maze.
And
Oh
butter
yeah, because
storage.
that's right, because it's 100% locations, so it can't lock itself. But small key to Ice Palace will make rounding that dungeon slightly easier, and we finally get a dungeon clear at 54 minutes.
Yeah, because I think it really is just finding big keys. But I think we're going to start seeing some dungeons drop at this point because we got stuff like, let's see, this looking like a Ice Palace play, but he's probably going to pick up that small key. Although, granted, yeah, as you said, I don't think there's anything unless it's Hera small, but Hera basement probably not the most attractive thing.
And on the other side, Vert's taking down Mothla, grabbing the blue pendant, so now we know where 2 of our pendants are. And yeah, just Skullwood's 3, who cares?
So I think that's all the Skullwood small, so that just, I guess, just puts a moth in logic.
Where are you going, bud?
Oh, Graveyard Ledge. That's kind of a quite the detour to go for that.
Yeah, a bit of thorough routing here from Shinmaru, running up through that portal to try to grab Graveyard Ledge.
And maybe we'll just route to the left after and just go in Skull Woods.
Maybe. You know, kind of hoping to do Ice Palace last until they have that big key, you know, or better chances to gain that big key.
Yeah, big key, and probably maybe at least try to fight Samaria. Anything to shortcut through that place is be appreciated.
We see him running back that direction. Like I say, if that was the case, then you could always just flute from Graveyard Ledge to get over to the portal in Kakariko and take care of Themestown and Skullwoods. But that's not the plan here.
Mushroom.
Oh, is it just a potion grab? Oh yeah, mushroom turning. Yeah, that's right. They haven't done it. Vertz has. But we see Vertz heading down toward Swamp Palace. We'll not get there, clear out of the way. We'll grab their Themestown big key.
I think Shinmaru was trying to position that portal, just kept mirror bonking there.
Right, so as we push into the hour mark and we have our runners overlapping themselves just a little bit, we want to give a shout out to these runners. If you're watching them and enjoying the race, and you should because it's been great so far, why not give them a follow? We have Shinmaru from the Joy of Rando and Vertz representing Grouchy Old Men. Also want to take a moment to shout out our tracker, Lumaga, doing all the hard work so I can just talk about this nonsense. And Yorker's wife doing the restream. Thank you so much for picking this up so we could put this show on. Also want to give a shout out to Pixcalibur and my co-com. Thanks for jumping at the last second. This would have been awful by myself.
Hey, this is a good race here. I haven't actually seen this AED in a while. Last time, it's been a while because we got the other modes. But again, also shout out to Talon. I appreciate the commentary.
And you know what? Shout out to Pi. Just for being Pi. Well done, man. Great Specky clip by Vertz there, clipping through that rail. Newly legalized very recently, and it's been really changing the meta towards Swamp Palace lately. It makes running in here seem a little bit more free and easy. Yeah, Vertz, having not checked things like 45 or the Bombos tablet, gaining back a little bit of time as Shinmaru goes and does things they've already done. So yeah, we see Shinmaru heading back over to the western part of the world. Gonna probably knock out the Skull Woods and then go right into Thievestown and knock it out. Maybe grab the purple chest afterwards. We'll see how thorough they want to be.
Oh, nope, look like going down first. Thieves play here. Okay, yeah, let's gonna do full thieves. I guess with Skullwoods, probably could just do that whenever.
Well, it might just be one of those where they do Skull Woods and then just can mirror and then flute away without having to route back through it, or try to get that last pendant and then just pull the pedestal right after Skull Woods could be their idea too. Plenty of options.
Oh yeah, because Skullwoods was one of the pendants. So we have Pod, and I don't think we know the other pendant yet.
Yeah, not terribly uncommon in an all dungeon scene to just figure out the pendant crystal scenarios as you go through them, rather than trying to do a map check and get it all written down. You've got to do them anyway.
And they know the pedestal has to have the GT big key, so unless they're just hoping they don't have to dip like GT like the basement, get something to complete. If it's like say TR is the other pendant, may not be the prettiest thing there. Okay, so that is all of the TR small, so now don't have to abandon lava chest.
Yeah, we had those 3 early TR smalls, and now the 4th one. It still really makes me wonder what's in there. I would really be wanting to know that medallion knowledge pretty badly at this point.
Because I don't think anyone's dipped into the Maya area, so we don't know. Because we haven't seen Ether. We've seen Quake. Just we need to find a cape somewhere.
Vertz trying to get those quick kill strats with that gold sword down. It's a finicky little trick, but if you can pull it off, it's super swaggy. But nice quick kill by Vertz there. Grabs her a small key and takes a very short and quick crystal lead. Or dungeon lead, I guess.
Ice run on Laser Bridge. Well, actually, it can't be in GT. Okay, so that's at least that limits out some spots since TR is a crystal. And pretty much the standard what we're going to see on these blind fights, just perfect scripted fights there.
And we're all tied up with the dungeon completion. Vert's gonna take their equipment up to the mountain and give us a little bit of information.
Oh yeah, they haven't. Neither one's picked up that lamp yet. Finally gonna get somebody picking up that lamp. I'm gonna get Ether tablet check. Might as well get that out of the way and even. Ooh, oh,
Hey,
there's
speaking of Ether.
All right, so that's all on medallion knowledge. Just need to find the cape now. Unless they're probably hoping maybe Quake isn't required. Maybe the medallions are just like Bombos Ether combinations.
Vertz knows that there's a big key just sitting on the floating island. I wonder if they're waiting on Hera, hoping that that might just be the Hera big. Purple chest is terrible, and we'll see where Shin wants to fly off to. Yeah, this might be the Skullwoods clear for Shinmaru.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here. I saw, okay, Hera was a regular crystal. I did not see desert. It was ether. So, the TR is ether.
Okay, that's one piece of the puzzle, now that we know where that's at. Vertz, having not done Themes Town, I am confident will dip into the Hammer Pegs after or before that, so... Without having the Kane, not really missing an opportunity to be able to go into TR. Now, if Kane just happens to be up here, this could be a different story. Oh, it's the pod big.
So, let's see. Okay, so it's at least a double dip. I think you can do it in two dips, because you have to take that mirror and pretty much pick up everything else, including that big key.
Alright, Shinmaru decided to hold off on Swamp. I didn't really see if anything changed, or if it was just a change of their mind. But gonna go ahead and push into Ice Palace.
Yeah, because Shin put Skull Woods aside. I think he has the map for Skull Woods, saw it's a pendant, and maybe he's like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna do that last.
Yeah, hoping just to finish off Swamp Palace and then just go to the pedestal from there for the GT big key. It's possible. Nice hair pot by Vertz. Gonna go ahead and grab that compass chest and then head right to the boss to finish this dungeon out. Does have that knowledge about TR Medallion being the ether, but besides the pod big, not getting much else from up here. So Moldarm taking a bite out of Vertz. We're gonna go for round 2 here. Oh, it's the wrong colored cane.
It would have been nice if it was the red one, but well, the blue one, that does put Spike Cave. I mean, you could just run that, I guess.
Around Shinmaru, we see the classic Ice Palace bomb jump. Vertz, though, having no time for such things like Spike Cave. He'll be having none of your. He'll be having none of your Spike Cave, sir.
That's gonna be a way down the line in checks. Saw another map check. It looked like desert. Yeah, desert was another regular crystal. So, trying to see if we can piece together.
Yeah, that must mean Ice Palace is our last pendant. So I wonder if Shinmaru saw that, decided just to grab Ice immediately, and then grab Swamp and pull, or Skull Woods and pull it.
Okay, so yeah, so ice. Yeah, I think we have our dungeon prize layout now. Just gotta piece it together. So I think you said the ice is the other pendant, so it'll probably should be rushing Skull Woods after this. At that point, there's no reason to hold on to waiting on Skull any longer.
Yeah, I've got to believe that's what happened, is they did a map check, realized what the last pendant was, and decided, okay, let me just go grab that first, then I can come back to Skull and just grab the pedestal then and just be done with this part of the world. I like it, so long as you're not abandoning something, in Ice Palace.
And I don't think the back of Skullwoods had anything, so he's not gonna be, punished for waiting on that.
No. So is Samaria just like sitting in Meyer shed or something?
Yeah, I don't think neither runners checked Meyer.
Yeah, neither
No.
runner has gone into that area at all.
Okay, that's another bottle. I think that's our third bottle we've seen. There was one in Hera.
Yeah. So what are we missing at this point? We're still missing an Eastern and Desert Big. And then Samaria Ice Rod? Potentially Cape if we need Quake.
Yeah, I'm looking to see. I don't think there's that much. Yeah, in terms of some keys and items, let's see. Yeah, Ice Rod, Cane of Samaria. And, Shinmaru will pick up the lamp as climb the mountain. Possibly Quake, which would need the cape. I guess Powder might still be in play. Magic Bat has no access to that.
Shinmaru are going to go check out the hobo, grab their shovel. We'll find out pretty quickly. They don't need it.
And yeah, they probably want at least one Castle Tower Small to get the other check.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. Ain't one of those runners hoping to see any CT small keys.
Because you want to at least get the check in there, because that check is really bad.
No, you don't. No one wants to go in there.
Because I think Shinmaru already dipped the first check, found nothing, and yeah, it's not going to be fun to have to go in there again just for one check.
Yeah. So, yeah, Shinmaru grabbing the pendant out of Ice Palace will now be going into Skullwoods and then pulling the pedestal for their GT Big. And we see Vertz going into the Meyer area, giving us some more information that we're sorely still needing. It's Quake!
Oh.
Here we go.
Man, oh man, a seed.
If the cape's just in here, it's fine. Oh, yeah, chat reminding us, duh. Pod is the green pendant. They're not pulling the pedestal yet.
Yeah, I need a...
Okay, then that brings into question what Shinmaru was doing. Why leave Skullwoods to go to Ice Palace, then?
Oh, hey, well,
look at there.
Got that. Got that on the doorstep. Okay, so...
Could have had that a long time ago.
Yeah, that's good for Vertz, because that's an icebreaker through ice.
This is probably Vert's going to grab the small key off the island and then head right into Ice Palace, I would guess. Vert's having the pod big key can pull the pedestal once he finishes those 2 dungeons.
Yeah, Shinmaru is probably just doing everything on the ground first before heading back to the mountain, but at some point he's going to have to get back up there, because he's going to start with Lamp, Hera, and then work his way to the pod big.
Shoutouts to Shinmaru, who once again for science showing us the gold sword spinning does nothing to Mothula. We're here for the science.
Yeah, the damage doesn't it doesn't fix correctly for the spin attacks. At least the regular swings or just stabs are fine with that and do temper sword damage.
Yeah, that's a really good point pointed out by chat. Vertz having the Samaria is going to be able to push through this ice palace just a little bit faster than Shinmaru did. But once again, we are tied up in the dungeon completion score for both of these runners. Go get it, Shin. Do it.
Yeah, you're missing a pendant. Ooh, I think finally just realized that. It's
Oh,
like,
that's tragic.
oh, I think he actually did think he had all the pendants.
Yep, and I get it. I'm sure he just put the thought in his head, oh, I can do Skull Woods afterwards and just pull it immediately. Which, yeah, makes sense. And then once that thought was in your head, there's just no replacing it. Someone go ahead and clip that for Shinmaru later.
We'll ask on that one. Let's see what his thought process. I think they probably thought he had all the pendants. If he went to Skull, then went to Ice, and then went back to Skull, he had the thought he had all the pendants.
So now this does go a different way. Shinmaru is going to grab their Samaria and be able to go back to the mountain, do Hera, get the pod bank, get their lamp, and then also dip TR with all of the keys. So this may work out in the long term.
Yeah, especially if Ice Rod's just sitting there. If the Ice Rod's in there, or even if the cape is in TR, and Meyer might have the Ice Rod. That'd be pretty ugly because that's a forced double dip there.
Yeah, 3 of the TR Smalls and the TR Big Key were all Sphere 1. So we had them incredibly early. So we've been hypothesizing from the beginning that TR is definitely hiding something important. So, yeah, Shinmaru putting this off and then being able to go up here with Ether is going to be big, I think. Whereas Vertz having the pod big already from already doing the mountain, I would guess, is now focused on pulling the pedestal. And we'll be doing that for a short while.
Yes, kind of take his focus off of. He's got to go back and do. I believe it was hammer pegs.
Yeah, hammer pegs held the ether tab or held the ether battalion. Now Vertz has not done the purple chest yet, so that is sitting there for them.
And then probably some stuff you don't want to find. I don't think you want to see Hera's small key. Definitely don't want to be dipping Hera basement, or even I think they have 2 Meyer smalls. You probably don't want to find the third one because I believe that would put cutscene chest into logic. Swamp big, ice big. At this point, these are probably things, the keys they probably don't want to see.
So yeah, it feels like the density really sits on TR, especially with the key availability early. But you know, the helmet has an item, green pendant holds an item. The worth of those is unknown as of yet.
Yeah, it would be really weird. Let's say if TR ends up having nothing, that'd be like a
that would be some serious bait. I would be shocked.
That's just so mean. It's like give you all this, and you get. It didn't take too much to get access to TR. You had to, work around, but in terms of key logic, it was right away.
Yeah, we are still missing a cape, an ice rod, and 2 big keys that are required. So. Oh, that dead rock in that spot is the worst.
There's just not a lot of space there, so it's just very easy for it to cramp up. I think both runners got trolled by that.
Yeah, so there will be no TAM level of AAD heat cleared tonight.
Yeah, we're not.
For those who
Not
may
supposed
or
to
may
go
not have
mode
seen that
yet.
race from earlier, it was the definition of efficiency in routing. I would very much encourage anyone to go back and watch the race between Tam and Ravis. It was unbelievable. There's Meyer 3 sitting, hanging out in the pod big chest.
Yeah, it's probably not what he wants to see. You don't want to put some out of the way checks into logic.
Yeah, we can logically clear the left side, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so Shin's gonna get that big key, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna go into yeah, TR because
Yeah, you've got to go into TR here.
Yeah, because GT big, that's only for the very end. You can kind of do that whenever. You still need crystals anyway, so Meyer Eastern is still need to be cleared out. Desert still needs to be cleared out. So a long way from GT mode.
Right, at this point we know that GT will have nothing. It'll be a go mode for both of our runners, so...
Yeah, and I think they only need one small key to do the climb.
Yeah, but you could always just steal one from the left side. It's not a big deal, so... But yeah, one will get you where you need to go.
Yeah, they don't even have... Yeah, in this case, they just start rushing straight up. Ooh, one big...
Okay,
that's a good big
one.
key.
No.
Oh.
No, we talked about this before. No.
Oh, boy. That's just a bad check there.
We're going to pretend like that never happened.
Watch as you're just praying it doesn't have like ice rod. That would be really mean.
Alright, very quick and strong fight by Vertz, putting down the Helmstar King. Getting some couch cash for their trouble, but also getting their 7th dungeon clear. And by 7th, I mean 6th, because I can count.
Well, might as well get the free green pendant turn in. Actually, this is not bad for Shin. Having kind of forgotten to do pod, because now he can just do pod Eastern together. So,
yeah, that's a great point. They're gonna, that's just a little bit less travel time they're gonna have to do, and we're only talking a few screens, but I mean, those 10 and 15 seconds add up to minutes after a while. Birds. Oh, maybe gotta clean up purple chest first. Oh, this is a fake powder.
Ooh, okay, this could be interesting if something's on this, because then Shin didn't safe scum that mushroom, so the powder is basically another ice rod hunt. It's just a single check.
So first gonna grab their ether here, so that's great for them.
Yeah, good. Get that out of the way. Yep, there's a fake powder play setup here.
Oh, man.
Ooh, that is
gross.
Oh boy. So you have to go to TR first before Meyer. Don't have a choice on that one.
Oh,
Oh
oh
no!
man.
Fetch quest, big key. Okay, magic bat. What do you have? Is now up to 10 arrows. That's good. Nothing there. Hera big is probably not what you want to see there because you're not going to go back in there for one check. And imagine if that Hera big has the say the Hera small, I would laugh.
We have
Laugh
so
so
many.
much on that one.
I forgot we had so many big keys sitting around. We didn't that TR Swamp and Ice Palace could still be holding something. So had kind of a heart moment for Shin of
So I guess let's see, maybe Ice Rod's just chilling in mire. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So yeah, TR just giving us a couple things we need, but we're gonna have to come back to this dungeon later.
And looking like Shin might be trying to do a portal save. You kind of need to find that Ice Rod first. But first, looking like gonna take this. You got the Eastern Big, so might as well just clear up Pod Eastern. But then can get the GT Big whenever.
Yeah, Shin gonna come in and knock out both these dungeons in a very efficient manner. Vertz at this point, I think, is pretty much just down to TRs. They're gonna have to go up that way.
Yeah, I mean, does Vertz have anything left to do at this point?
I really don't think so.
Yeah, there we go.
So yeah, once Shinmaru finishes off the pod checks, we're gonna really be able to see the difference between both of these runners because they'll be basically even at that point as far as checks. You know, Vertz has already finished their pod, and Shinmaru's already dipped into Eastern or into TR. So it definitely feels like Shin's got a small advantage here.
We can only really tell once we start, like, say, the GT climb. See who is actually ahead and by how much.
Yeah, no. Once they knock out Helmasar, the only thing, and even if they do or don't check the green pendant, they'll be able to go right into Eastern, and then they'll have a dungeon clear advantage at that point. That Vertz is gonna have to travel back to, which again, just a flute and a run's not a lot of time, but it's still time.
Trying to think, in terms of checks, let's see. I don't think there are too many ugly checks. We got Spike Cave still on the table.
Yeah, Spike Cave is definitely pretty rough. The Tower of Hera Binky also could be a pretty rough check, because it can have something.
Yeah, and the worst thing is if that starts like a just kind of a chain of keys. You imagine if it gives you like Hera small, Swamp big, Ice big, and now do you really want to chase down all these keys? You know, unless your last locationing at that point, probably not going to do that.
Shinmaru starting up with a couple bombs, then finishes off with a hammer and sword slash, and down goes their Helmasar. And we're back to even on the dungeon count at 6 apiece. Oh yeah, yeah, Futon in chat, that second castle tower chest now that we have that small key. Gross.
I want to just try to pretend it doesn't exist, but I don't think Vertz has even checked Castle Tower yet, though.
No, seeing that castle tower small will give them a little more incentive to go there, as Shinmaru already has checked one, but I can't imagine that's high on their list.
It's just out of the way. Let's see. I mean, the best you could do is pair it up with Pyramid Fairy, but you'd have to clear Mire first.
Which is doable, though. That's a great point. We have all three small keys, the big key, and Samaria, so it's in Pyramid Fairies and Logic.
Because that would probably be the best time to, if they still don't have, say, Ice Rod, they're gonna have to pair those two together, because you just don't want to run back to one check.
Yeah, I would guess that Shinmaru's next on his checklist after they get out of Eastern.
Just a note, almost a full hearts here is 18, 17 hearts, red tunic. Still kind of curious about those silvers. I'm kind of wondering where those might be lying around. And yeah, no, he never did get this chest. Granted, it's nothing, but it's just there.
Yeah, but if that had been Ice Rod, Shinmaru would be screaming.
Yeah, because he would have been able to just clear up PR just like that, instead of having to do a second. But I do get at least a couple more checks here. The big chest. I don't think he's checked the big key chest. And that's a small key. Oh, no, I don't think we need more GT smalls at this point. I think is that three? 3 GT smalls? Which, again, the basement's not gonna be useful for anything.
Vertz grabbing their cape. Now going to be able to grab their Quake Medallion at some point. Vertz grabbing their fake out key and probably thinking, oh no.
Especially when they've already done Hera. And again, you really don't want to go there for one check and then later on find the Hera small. And you're thinking, I'm not going to go into that place a third time. Alright, it's about to see Armos, which I believe this is a new check, because for the last maybe few minutes, it's just kind of both runners kind of overlapping the other's checks.
Yeah, I had kind of forgotten that Shinmaru had left 2 checks in the front of Eastern behind, so that kind of bleeds into that lead they could have been building up a little bit. So Vert's going to be behind about an Eastern clear behind what Shinmaru has done. Alright, we'll see if Vertz wants to check out the Tower of Hera or maybe even Spike Cave while still on the mountain. But that's Shinmaru grabbing their 7th dungeon clear with Eastern.
Yes, I mean, in terms of keys, let's see, what's still needed? Still need a Desert Big. And is that about it?
Desert Big Ice Rod. Vert's going to go into the Dark World, I would guess. Probably going to grab their Quake Medallion here.
Yeah, so they know they can pick up the GT Big at any time. They'll probably just pick that up and then flute over the GT when they're ready.
Yeah, both players playing toward the density of Meyer now, so not terribly surprising. They'll just grab this. I guess would head right for it.
I'm looking in chat. I mean, there's not that many items left, but you can still create some pretty like evil chains with these small keys, or the fetch quest big keys.
I think I like Vertz's plan here of just, I'm already over here, let me just run and grab this thing. I have had a bad habit practicing this mode of forgetting to pull this. But Shinmaru, better than me, decides, nope, I'll get it later. Can head right into Meyer. This definitely feels like the play, especially with all the small and big keys. Get that hype in chat. Can you believe it? A big key on the pedestal.
It's the
Wild.
GT big key. We.
Twitch chat just starts losing their mind for the hype ped pull. Alright, we see, yeah, Vert's gonna head over, grab their Eastern Clear. Not sure why they're in the Dark World. Yeah, definitely looks like maybe just a muscle memory thing. But probably hoping if they can just pull any item here, it will shorten the number of things they need to find in Meyer. One check down. If it's in Hera, both of these runners are going to feel real bad. Like, no one wants to go back into Hera, but you were already on the mountain. And so you immediately you're going to think, oh man, I bet my opponent did that.
Okay, that's all the GT smalls. And again, Hera Big, that's just a real gamble. I mean, that could be paired up with Spike Cave, I guess, but they'll probably consider it if they find the Hera small.
They'll probably consider it if there's nothing in Meyer. I don't know that there's much else to do.
Yeah, so trying to think. Let's see, what else is there besides... Oh, another shield. Let's see... Gosh, what is there? I'm trying to think this
really
through.
don't think there's anything.
Because they got all their isolated checks out of the way here. And Spike Cave would just be paired along with that.
Shinmaru was like, no, we are not doing cutscene if I can avoid it. Really hoping to pull something out of the back here.
Because I think it's just... Like, item-wise, it's Ice Rod. Wow, almost a heart %. 19 hearts, that's great.
Nice spooky setup from Shin, remembering to use it. Gets that first room, and the second, excellent, as Vertz takes down their Armos Knights with a quick kill. And I would guess be heading right behind Shinmaru into Misery Meyer here.
Let's see, so after Shinmaru finishes Meyer, let's see if he decides to go back in, and I think it's just for one check at this point. I think he's cleared everything else.
I wonder if they're gonna, like, okay, it's the Desert Big they get off of here for some reason. I can just go into Desert for 2 items, and maybe I don't ever have to do cutscene. You know, just making a safe gamble.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good play. I'm just trying to say it's possible.
Oh, once we got a big key here.
Oh no!
Oh no, that's oh, that is an ugly big key. Because just getting back there is gonna take a while.
Yeah, you've got to go back in for cutscene here. You made the gamble, and congratulations, but you've got to.
Yeah, because the last thing you want, you skip it, and it happens to be like, if it's Ice Rod there, that's gonna be GG, especially if your opponent does the check.
So Shinmaru going to give back a little bit of time here, having to go through Meyer 1 and 2 an extra amount of times, but not an insurmountable amount of time. Their routing through Meyer, at least for the first part, was pretty clean, and seemed like the better way to do it. So we'll see if Vertz can take advantage at all. Because after this, it's going to be flip your coin and hope you're right.
Yeah, oh boy. What's left? Pyramid Fairy's open.
Yep, Pyramid Fair is open.
No.
We have Swamp Big Chest. We have the Tower Hera Big Chest. We also have Castle Tower Chest 2.
Oh my god, these Spike Cave. Oh,
For
god,
Shinmaru, if they pull the powder, then Magic Bat is a check they have to do. We saw Vertz do the fake powder, but Shinmaru did not have that option. So if they pull powder, that's another thing they're going to go run and check.
Now, actually, a lot of these isolated checks are kind of clumped together. Okay, cutscene with nothing, because if he wants to do Swamp, get that out of the way, then do Pyramid Fairy, and then can just mirror into Castle Tower, get that chest out of the way. So there's a chance to at least be able to really, at least as best as you can, get these really dead-end checks out of the way.
Yeah, that looks like the play here, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, let's see which way is he going to go. Is he going to go down or is he going to go up?
Great rail skip there by Vertz, using that trick that I still cannot do, but I don't know why.
Nope, it's not gonna do Swamp. So we're gonna, I guess, go for the density. You got the 3 checks on this route.
Both runners have to be to the point of just like, oh my gosh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
You gotta love the infamous Ice Rod hunt. It's just so terrible.
And that's the thing. Let's say you pull the Ice Rod. Do you immediately run up the mountain for 1 check behind Trinex? Or do you finish what's down here? I mean, no matter what you pick, you're going to feel like you're wrong.
Because, yeah, they're still missing something. They wouldn't be in go mode yet.
Yeah, I've got to feel like you have to finish everything down here if you find Ice Rod first. Nice vanilla silvers, dude.
Well, I guess Ganon is free today. It was pretty much free with Buttersword, but now it's like totally vanilla. And there we go. Yep, he's gonna make this play. Get this check out of the way. Now, if it's something in here, this is to be huge here.
So Vertz cleaning up all the checks in. Meisher and Meyer are now going to head back to their boss.
Imagine if Lumberjack did have something. If it had that big key or Ice Rod, this would be horrible because you have to find the other CT small.
It's not Castle Tower.
Oh man. Okay, so that's out. So we're
Swamp
gonna
Big Chest. It's Swamp Big Chest for Hera and Spike. Yeah, there you go, Vertz. You have a near infinite number of those blocks. Just delete it and lay it on another.
Right, so it's got Swamp Big here. Let's see. What could it have? Now, it could have what we need, or it can troll it some more. Let's see. Ice Big. Oh, no. That'd be terrible to see. Powder, yeah,
Powder would be bad. That's just more time for Vertz.
Yeah, actually, Yeah, because the powder led to nothing, and oh boy.
So yeah, if Vertz gets out of Mire and then heads right back to the mountain, assuming it's not in swamp, this could be real interesting real quick.
Yeah, this seed definitely not being one of those jet seeds. It's going to be on the other side of the coin, just being one of the really slow seeds.
All right, Swamp Big Chest is desert. Okay, I was like, man, if that's ice, what a troll.
Okay. Okay, so that's good. That's so he's probably just gonna run straight over the desert. You know, might as well get another dungeon out of the way. And that's 2 checks there.
Yeah, so if Vertz decides to check the Swamp Big Chest first before doing Pyramid Fairy, can make a little bit of time up, except those silvers might have something to say about it in the end.
Yeah, because that's what is that? Maybe a good 30, 45 seconds or so.
Oh yeah.
Okay, going for the back first, which is reasonable. You know, possibly could just spike the ice rod here and just be done with it.
Yeah, and having not done Castle Tower at all, that's 4 checks versus 1. This makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's... Well, he's going to get his silvers at least, but you know, in terms of progression, it's not going to have anything. And hoping that it's just going to follow that Swamp Big after.
Yeah, so Shinmaru is still maintaining a small lead. The things in front of them are relatively linear. The Vertz's chances of just spiking some random items getting real small.
Yeah, Shinmaru's going to have to get some arrows at some point. Yeah, got a little short there. Luckily, plenty of backups to get through that.
Yeah, I got wise about those arrows and decided, let's just go down to Butter Sword. This will be fine.
Yeah, Butter Sword, Fire Rod, half cost magic, just only slightly slower. Yeah, both runners being very thorough here. Just good. Vertz doing the 2 checks there. Shinmaru not forgetting this big chest here, because I've seen it burn people before. You do this and forget this 1 check here.
Shinmaru having some good game knowledge, finding some arrows. And finds the ice rod. That's go mode.
Oh, okay. Oh, boy. Oh. Yeah, so hopefully Vertz does not go to the mountain. I don't... let's see, what is... I'm trying to think, where is he going right now?
Not sure. What did we forget up here?
Oh, Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's got to be following that Swamp Big here. I mean, not too many checks left, but this is kind of starting to widen this gap a little bit. Shinmaru, I don't think has anything left. It's just get GT Big. Okay, luckily not forgetting that.
Yeah, good call. I think, especially when you finally hit that go mode, I could see a world where you just run the TR, get into GT, and then all of a sudden, oops.
Okay, so that's the actual go mode.
Responding to a question in chat, the other A in the AAD keys title of this stands for almost, because it's almost all dungeons key sanity. It's just an open 7/7 defeat Ganon, but the GT big key is locked on the pedestal, which means you have to defeat the other pendant dungeons to be able to pull the pedestal to get your GT big key. So it's a clever way the devs put together to have some 80 key sanity without potentially requiring AGA 1. Yeah, Shinmaru it's a very firm lead right now. It's definitely his race to lose at this point. As Vertz is going to head into Swamp Palace, grab their Desert Big, head into Desert, and then be able to finish it and grab their Ice Rod before heading up the mountain. I would suspect by then, though, Shinmaru will be into GT.
So this looks at least, 3-4 minutes, maybe more, maybe 5 minutes or something. Let's kind of see when they actually get into GT, because that's just a straight climb at this point. There's nothing needed in GT at all. I mean, even looking at the trackers, it's pretty much all full. The only thing missing is powder. I know Shinmaru has to have that Quake medallion, because couldn't get in the mire without that. So he's just missing really just powder and some bottles.
Or was it just Telefo that did it? Whenever I heard Drosy talk about it, he always mentioned the devs, so I was trying to give credit where credit was aptly due. Yeah, Bert's doing the same idea that Shin had of just rushing the back. If the item's here, you're done. Can't blame them. As we see Shinmaru, having already cleared all the interior of TR, gonna just push toward the back.
This will be pretty close to see if this will be sub 2. This will be pretty close.
Nice Silver's kill there by Vertz on Len Mullis. Gonna grab their 9th completed dungeon, but gonna have to head back in to grab that Ice Rod as Shinmaru goes to start their fight with the turtle.
Yeah, so luckily this seat did not go the the full mileage on Trollage, so Ice Palace big, don't really hear what that is. Hera big, chest is gonna be whatever, Spike Cave, and I think Hera small key, no clue what that is. It's probably just maybe sitting in GT somewhere. Well, yeah, at least you don't need that. You imagine if this was... Well, if it was all done, even if it was all dungeons, that wouldn't have been a bad thing, because you would just take out AGA 1 at that point. If had this been a full all dungeon.
So Vert's grabbing their go mode at exactly 154.0, right when Shinmaru was grabbing their crystal from Trinex. So behind a mountain climb and a TR clear, it's a pretty deep hole, but it's going to take some help from Shinmaru if Vertz is going to climb back in this one, I think.
Yeah, because there's no GT big key hunt here. You already got it. You just go straight up the climb. And Gauntlet and stuff. That's something that these runners have practiced countless times to just really try to really run the gauntlet optimally.
Yeah, we can just sit back and let the muscle memory and execution for Shin take over as Vertz pushes through TR, try to catch up.
Yeah, Shin quickly burning his way through the gauntlet. Lambo 2, 1, 2, 3, just like that. Got plenty of arrows for Ganon. Should be no issue. And let's see. Health, still plenty of health. And I think they even have a fairy in a bottle. So just for that extra bit of insurance, or whatever that's worth.
Great. Spin, slash there by Vertz is down and goes Trinex. As on Shinmaru's side, Moldorm claims yet another victim.
Got the troll dorm here.
Yeah, and especially in an instance like this where both runners near last located, 2 required items. You take that Moldorm fall and you're like, yep, that's it, I lose. That's what lost it right there. Yeah, it's just, every little mistake just feels so compounded.
Yeah, especially when it's getting to 2 hours and the other person hasn't finished yet. You're just trying to think what's going on at this point.
Maybe a double? Not sure on that one.
Yeah, it's hard to see. I think that was a double. Oh, that was a bad.
That was a hot nothing.
Yeah. At least you got one there. Really don't like it when Aga shoots the blue ball and you get hit by it and it disturbs your pattern.
Shinmaru, who's never met a fireball to the face they didn't like. There, got it. So, off Shinmaru flies, heading toward the Ganon fight as Vertz begins their gauntlet climb. Gonna need a little bit of help here. Gonna need a couple bad Ganon deaths or falls to really bring this one back into focus.
Yeah, because what was it, like 5 minutes at this point? It's
been,
an
entire GT climb, yeah.
Yeah, it's even like one Ganon fall is not going to be enough. You probably need at least like 2 minimum. But with butter swords, silvers, half cost magic, pretty much all the safeties you could ever want, probably not going to be that big an issue. It's a free 1-and-1 here.
Yeah, and it wasn't like one runner was dynamically better than the other in obvious ways. It really came down to just a few choices and routing options that just worked out in Shinmaru's favor. Being able to go to the mountain and clear TR in one trip, whereas Vertz had to climb it again. Being able to do Pot Eastern at the same time, where Vertz had to go back and split them up. Like, it was just little things like that just really added up over time.
Yeah, I think he also, Shin dipped Dark World earlier, so he managed to get those boots early on.
Yeah, Shinmaru going into Agina's cave for the mitts let them get into Dark World much quicker, where Vertz unfortunately last located the mitts, and so having done things like Hyrule Castle front, couldn't do it with the boots like Shin did. But that's the pig dead. Get your GG's a chance for Shinmaru, who, as long as they can conquer the bridge, will take this race. And there it is. Shinmaru takes the win in this race with an official racetime.gg time of 2 hours, 1 minute, and 11 seconds. GG to Shinmaru and the joy of Rando. Picking up 3 more points in week 3 of the ALTTPR League.
Yeah, that's got to feel very good. Getting up to, 3-2 now? Get that over 500 0.5, 50% win.
And we welcome Shinmaru into the booth. GG, bud.
GG's. Which grandiose comedy of errors do you want to roast me over first?
Well, it's going to be Eastern, obviously.
That was literally...
You passed that map check, and I'm like, what?
Dude, that was literally like... I was doing some like IRL stuff, like literally just before this race started. I was thinking, like, okay, did I take care of this? Blah 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 blah. And by the time I realized I was like up to that, what is that? I don't know what that chest is.
Yeah,
the compass chest or whatever it is. Yeah, compass chest. And I was like, wait, did I skip the map chest? I skipped this stupid map chest, didn't I?
Just seeing you walk back and forth was the best, because it was like, what do I do? Do I go? Do I not go back? I don't know if I should go back.
I can't go back. It's too far. I'm like, well, let's just hope nothing's in there. And then that threw me off so much. I was like, my routing was just so bad. My gameplay was so bad. The first hour-ish is so, oh my god. I was super lucky that this end game was so terrible, because if it was straightforward, Vertz is absolutely destroying me. So
yeah, actually, I mean, you say that, and yet in the beginning there was one major difference between the two of you that made all the difference.
Oh, what was that?
You went to Agina.
Oh, I see.
So they got their first glove at a mini Moldworm, and then continued right and got
on the hand. Yeah, okay, yeah, and Hammer was available too, right?
Right. So they did things like check Castle and the escape and a bunch of other stuff that when you went back and did it, you had the boot. Oh no. Oh, Vertz. Buddy, that is just what a slap in the face. Yeah, so Vertz's game crashed right after Aga 2, and they end up forfeiting. So let's just do this.
Oh, yeah,
and welcome, Vertz. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Gross.
Yeah. Not by the loss. I think it was a solid race.
Very solid.
Yeah, I'm upset about. What happened was I put my water cup down maybe slightly more forcefully than I had in the rest of the race, and that shook the console enough to crash it. And I recreated it by really hitting the desk, and that's what did it. But I did not put the water cup down that time, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, kind of a rough end to a rough scene anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at your
Yeah.
pause screen right now, and the plethora of items you no longer have.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
no,
That's like half the
crystals,
race.
no
Over
pendants.
over half the race is to see was just like tossing you all over dead end checks, last locationing everything.
Yeah, that was interesting at the end where I had the 2 red crystals and said, well, I can do Pyramid Fairy and Castle Tower and get silver arrows and nothing else. So that's nice. And I guess I'll do Swamp before I climb the mountain for the 5th time, feels like.
Yeah, and we were discussing before you came in. That was kind of the name of the scene. There was 2 major points where Shinmaru, it just worked out in his favor and not yours. And the first was he went to Agina first. So when he went to Mini Moldorm, he had the mitts. So going to Ice Rod Cave gave him the pearl. So he went right into Dark World, got boots much earlier than you.
Nice. Yeah,
so
that is good.
Where you were looking for either the mitts or a hammer, you did Castle and all these other one-off checks. So they eventually went back into the castle as well, but they were able to do it with boots.
Yes, much faster.
With boots and also red mail that took like 10 million years of death.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. Vertz got the red mail too and had to bomb kill himself.
Yeah, I felt so bad getting mirror like immediately after that. Like I really could have used this so much earlier.
Right.
So then the other side of that was Vertz, you went to the mountain without ether. Got all the goodies up on the mountain, and then left to go do other things. So you were also able to do pod quicker.
Yeah.
Whereas Shin got to it later, was able to go into TR and get all the goodness out of TR, and then when they went to do pod, was able to do pod and then mirror right into Eastern and didn't have to go back for it. So it's like this culmination of these little things that Shin just like luck sack routed into that really just paid off. Yeah, it wasn't anything that was done wrong. It was just I made this calculated choice and it just didn't work out, and then just piled and piled and piled.
Yeah, I will say I was also like extremely not interested in saving my portal because I had like 10 million hearts red mail. I was like, this is never happening.
No, I had the same thought of like I have all I think I had 19 hearts at that point possibly. So there's no way that I can save this portal with the rest of the stuff I have to do.
You still don't have Ice Rod. You don't know where it could be. Probably may have to throw away the portal anyway. So it's not worth doing. So yeah, I noticed it was Shin. I think we were wondering in the comms. Like I think you went for I think you went to Skull to get pendant, but then you went to Ice, and then I think you tried to pull the pedestal.
My brain completely like short circuited. I thought like, oh, I know what all the pendants are. Surely I can have all of them now. It was just like complete nonsense. Like my brain was just like completely shut off like that first like hour. It's like I was doing one of those like kind of blindfolded speed runs, but like someone whacked my head with like a lead pipe beforehand. So I was just like, I'm not doing anything properly at all.
Yeah, we were like, oh, he must have realized Ice Palace was the other pendant. This is pretty smart. And then someone in chat's like, yeah, except no one's meeting Pod yet. I'm like, oh yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, it would have been really smart if it wasn't so stupid.
Right? Yeah, it was very well thought out until it didn't work. But yeah, I believe this is just the first game in this week for you guys as the week just started. So do we know when the second match between your teams is?
I believe it's Wednesday evening. I will check. Like 10 Eastern, maybe, if I remember correctly.
You are correct. 10 Eastern. Yeah, that looks like Slowpoke and Aristark.
Yep.
Well, excellent. So, all right. Well, GG's to Shin and the Joy of Rando, packing up another 3 points. Vertz, your team will have another shot at it in a couple days. Any more final thoughts before we wrap this up? It's getting late for this old guy.
Game's fun. Thanks for the race, Shin.
Yep. GG's again to Vertz. Thanks. Yeah. Working real nice. Especially my schedule is kind of like all over the place this week, so it was nice like still being able to get something put together pretty easily in spite of that. And yeah, thanks to comms, Umaga for tracking, and Worker's wife for very kindly restreaming it.
Yes, much appreciated as always.
Yeah, big shout out to the team who were able to put this one together and to get you guys on. We really we wanted to put a good show on, and you guys were more than apt to be able to give it to us. So thank you both so much.
Before we go, I also have to see what are your thoughts on my wonderful founding, Jalen?
That's weird. I didn't see it. It's crazy. And we have the league schedule up now, so I can't go back. That's really unfortunate. Just an unfortunate thing. Maybe next time we'll get it, buddy. I'll see you in my office after this race, sir. But all right, we want to give one more shout out to our team. Thank you so much, Lamaga, for tracking. Yorker's wife, thank you so much for picking up the restream. I really honestly appreciate it. Pixcalibur, excellent calming with you. I really appreciate getting in the booth with you, and I will leave the final words to you.
Yeah, so again, thanks to the whole team, ALTTPR lead team, Lumaga for tracking, Yonkers for restreaming, and our runners at Shinmaru and Vertz put on a great race through this rather trolly seed. That's the whole rando, and especially with all dungeons, it kind of drags on a bit more. But that's for this whole week here. We're going to have the more action with the almost all dungeons seeds. There's plenty of races you can take a look at throughout the week. Again, so thanks to Talon for co-comming, and this is Pixcalibur, and we'll see you guys in the next race.